Oh, there we go. Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the Celtic Way YouTube page, X page, and Facebook page. My name is Ryan McGinley in Scotland. I'm delighted to be joined by Tony Haggerty at aHaggerty10, who is live from the Signal Iduna Park in Dortmund. Tony, how are you doing?
I'm all right. I've just took my seat, Ryan, because UEFA and the Infant Listening gave me a pass for them to tell me where I was sitting. But I'm just below the TV gantry, so there you go. Front row, smack bang centre circle. What seat? Unbelievable.
Yeah, you might need to speak up a little bit when I'm talking to you, because that is very, very loud and I can hear the background music. It sounds like a very rowdy place to be already, and it's just over an hour until kickoff. As people can see in front of us, here is the team lineup for tonight's big Champions League match: Borussia Dortmund v Celtic. It's match day 2 in the UEFA Champions League. Both teams have got 3 points. Who's going to end up with 6 points, or is it going to be a draw? It's Kasper Schmeichel in goals, a back four of Greg Taylor, Liam Scales, Austin Trusty and Alistair Johnson, a midfield three of Callum McGregor, the captain, Paulo Bernardo and Arne Engels, and a front three of Daizen Maeda on the left, Nicholas Kuhn on the right, coming back to his home country in Germany, and Kyogo Furuhashi up front. The subs this evening are Sinisalo, Bain, Palma, Ida, Baye, Yang, McCowan, Nawrowski, Hatate, Forrest, Ralston and Welsh. Tony, what's your thoughts on that team? It's the team that we predicted, and it's probably the strongest that Celtic put out at the moment.
Yeah, without a doubt, I'm glad it's the team that we predicted. I think that's the strongest lineup, isn't it? And speaking of Kasper Schmeichel, I had a lovely Peter Schmeichel in the media room. I was delighted. I said to him, I was delighted when managed to get this game. And he laughed and said he was always coming, but he thought he'd make a joke about it on air. But he was delighted to see his son playing a game of this magnitude again at the Champions League level. So he was very pleasant. He was very nice. And he wished me well, wished the team well. So all good. But yeah, that team for me is the strongest team. Ryan, strong bench as well if needed. You hope you can hear me. The noise is electric. It's building up to crescendo here. But yeah, I'm happy about that. I think we talk about it all the time, don't we? Bernardo, Engels, McGregor, Maeda, Kyogo and Koundé hold the key here. I think because if Celtic can score, then I think they'll gain confidence from that. And I've no qualms about Trusty playing alongside Scales. I really haven't. And I think Schmeichel will be the busiest he's been all season. I trust him as well to keep the ball out the net.
Yeah, absolutely, Tony. You're more than welcome to shout if you possibly can. I can tell how loud it is. You can tell even through you the speakers on your laptop. I'm just going to bring up Mark McQueen. Very, very kind of you, donating £4.99. We're doing the huddle in the Champions League. We certainly are. And if you want to support us in the Champions League just that little bit more, you can join our YouTube members channel, just £2.99 per month, and you'll receive early video access, priority comments, and exclusive members chat function. If you're on desktop right now, you can click the join button just next to the subscribe button, and yeah, get involved and just support us that little bit more. I guess the main takeaway in that team tonight, other than the fact that it's an unchanged team, apart from, well, no, it's not an unchanged team whatsoever. It is an unchanged team from the team that played against St Johnstone. There, I'm second guessing myself. I'm thinking because Baye played the full of the second half, but it was Greg Taylor that started that game. Austin Trusty, I think, he's the big name. It's a big night for him. It's his first start in Europe, period. He made his debut a couple of weeks ago against Slovan Bratislava in the Champions League, but it's a whole different kettle of fish tonight, isn't it, for him? He's going to be up against the might of Dortmund, and let's see how he does against real top class opposition.
Huge night for him, Ryan, and on such nights heroes are made, unlikely ones at times as well. So this is Trusty. He's been given the nod. Go and grab it. What a chance to try and cement yourself a place in the team for the foreseeable future. Yeah, he's signed. He's a former Arsenal player, Ryan. He's had a season in the English Premier League. These are all experiences that you have to draw upon and dig in and show what you've learned and prove that you belong at this level. As I say, I've no qualms beside him, and we've spoken about this before. Scales has been the best defender at Celtic since the start of the season. So, and that's a fact. So I'm actually happy, I said it to you earlier as well, that I'm happy that we've gone with 100% fit Trusty and not a 70 or 80% fit Cameron Carter-Vickers. I think that's crucial for supporting. So I feel really sorry for Cameron Carter-Vickers, but what a platform, what a stage, what a match for Austin Trusty to make his first Champions League start. Tremendous.
Yep, £6 million signed from Sheffield United in the summer. He's played against top class opposition for Sheffield United against the might of the Premier League teams such as Arsenal, Manchester City, Liverpool, etc. He's coming up against another one of those European heavyweights in Borussia Dortmund tonight, of course. The Champions League finalists last season, just as much as a few months ago. I remember sitting down to watch that game. Who would have thought just a few months later Celtic would be coming up against them? A couple of players in that team that are new and fresh in the Borussia Dortmund team, but still a lot of the household names remain, one in particular being Emre Can, that Brendan Rodgers knows all about, and Nuri Sahin, who manages the club, who replaced Edin Terzic at the end of the season there. I think he was an assistant manager or something at Borussia Dortmund, so he was kind of promoted from within. Tony, where is the area that Celtic are going to win this match tonight, if they are to win it? Is it in the midfield? Is it out wide? Is it up front? Or is it a collection of all three?
I think it's a collection of all three. I think Bernardo and Engels are going to be crucial tonight. And the front three, Maida, Kyogo and Kuhn, they're going to have energy like they've never had before. And obviously the one I missed out there is McGregor, but I just expect from McGregor at this level, he's played so many matches, he knows what's required, he understands the assignment, as you would say. So it's up to him to G on the likes of Bernardo and Engels and Maida and Kyogo to show that they've learned from playing in the Champions League at this stage proper regularly for the past few years. Kuhn's the interesting one for me. What a chance he's got as well to say to the German international selectors, do listen, give me my German cap. And I just think the stage is set for Kuhn to really have a strong one here and show everybody that we're back in his native land, show his compatriots what they're missing, and turn it on. I mean, what an opportunity to shine, right? And get everybody raving and talking about him again for all the right reasons, for football reasons. But yeah, that from Bernardo, McGregor, Engels forward, that for me is where the game's going to be won and lost. Because I do like Borussia Dortmund have lost 7 goals the last 2 games. Celtic can create. You just have to be clinical when those chances come along. Right? We've seen them passed up at this level before, but they can't have that tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just going to go through the Borussia Dortmund team as well. It's Kobo that starts in goals. Former Celtic target Jan Koto is starting out on the fullback position. Anton Schlotterbeck, Girassi, the striker that scored 28 goals, I believe, last season in the Bundesliga, or in all competitions for Stuttgart last season. Julian Brandt, Pascal Gross, Emre Can, who's the captain, Rierson, Adeyemi, and Gittins, the young English talent, the young English winger that plays for Borussia Dortmund, sort of seen as the next Jadon Sancho, etc. That is the sort of similarities that they're making. On the bench, it's Maya, Lotka, Bense Baini, Nemecha, Bayer, Duranville, Sabitzer, Sula, and Azil. So there's a couple of household names in there, Tony, names that you'll recognise, in particular that midfield, that sort of Premier League midfield of Pascal Gross and Emre Can that played for Liverpool and Brighton respectively. But it's a team that I think can be got at, and Celtic have got enough weapons in their team to give any team a problem, and specifically Borussia Dortmund, a team that have been conceding goals recently.
I think that's Borussia Dortmund's worry here, Ryan. They're worried about Celtic because there's pace up front, and with the likes of Kuhn and Maida and Engels, as much as they know about Engels, he's a known quantity. He's an unknown quantity in this Celtic team, which is pretty slick. And I think Celtic can get at Borussia Dortmund here and cause them no end of problems. And whilst we know that they've got quality in their ranks, I think 4 players left from the Champions League runners-up team from last season. We all know about them. We know their household names. Yep, we're under no illusion that this is a huge task for Celtic tonight, Ryan. Absolutely huge. But they go there in the finest fettle. And you just feel, I don't know about you, but I just feel that there's something brewing for Celtic here. It should be one of those special European nights. And you're trying to create a wee bit of club history. No Celtic team has ever won in Germany before. Let's shatter that right away, and let's see Brendan Rodgers can be the man to take that record, that unwanted record.
That's the thing. Records are meant to be broken, and unwanted records are there to be broken as well. There's got to be a time when these records are done away with, and what better way than tonight to do that against Borussia Dortmund, against the might of Borussia Dortmund. As you could probably hear in the background, everybody, Tony, you could hear the Celtic fans singing Celtic Glasgow. You said that there's about 3,500-4,000 fans at the game tonight. It sounds as if there's plenty more than that. And I think there'll be some that will have infiltrated the home end as well, maybe a few undercover. It'll be difficult if Celtic score for them to keep quiet. Maybe they'll need to put on a wee bit of an accent as well. But there seems to be a great representation of the Celtic support. You've seen that all day with some of the videos in the Dortmund city centre. It all seems well spirited. You knew that would be the case with the relationship that Borussia Dortmund and Celtic have with each other, and you'll see that during the game and probably after the game as well. How good it's been. Tony, have you been lapping up that atmosphere today? What's it been like in and around Dortmund?
Yeah, they've been coming in their droves. They're stationed in the corner away to my right line, but what a noise they're making. They're up against the yellow wall, which is an awesome sight, absolutely awesome. But the Celtic fans are giving as good as they get. They're here to party as well, but they're here and travelling in optimism and real hope that they can get a result. It's not misplaced. They feel that this is the team that can finally bury that German voodoo and not just get a positive result like a draw line. They genuinely believe that they can win. If Celtic turn up, they will cause Dortmund problems. Conversely, if Dortmund turn up, they'll cause the Celtic problems. We know that.
Yeah, it's quite an appetising game in that regard, and I think there'll be a lot of neutrals. The neutrals have got quite a few games to choose from tonight, specifically Arsenal v Paris Saint-Germain as well, which will be a cracking tie. But I think a lot of neutrals will want to see Brendan Rodgers Celtic come up against Nuri Sahin's Borussia Dortmund. There is a lot of storylines that go with this. It's just a perfect game. The kits won't clash either. I think Celtic will probably be playing in their home kit this evening. I believe that would make the most sense to me in terms of the yellow and black, and in the green and white. That'll be a great colour clash. Often you get clashes that just do not look great on the TV whatsoever, but I think that will look the opposite. You'll know exactly who is passing to who. Just having a look at that team again, Tony. Celtic were so good last time out in the Champions League against Slovan Bratislava. It's obviously a very different atmosphere tonight, very different surroundings, but there's players that played in that game against Slovan Bratislava that can make a difference, even against the step up in quality, or a couple of steps up in quality rather, of Borussia Dortmund. What are you expecting tonight from the likes of your wingers, Maeda and Kuhn, and especially Arne Engels? These are the players that have been trusted to make an impact on the front foot and also dig in defensively when required. And both are going to need to be required tonight, aren't they?
Yeah, they're going to have to match everything that Dortmund do, because these guys are a step up in quality, right? A step up in class. But you trust these guys to do that, don't you? And it's just more of the same for me. I know the opposition is a lot better than what we've been used to so far this season, but they ripped it up in the Champions League in match day 1 to win 5-1. You've got to take confidence from that. It's surging through you. They're unbeaten so far in every game this season. The League Cup, the League and the Champions League. So let's see if we can hold on to that unbeaten tag by the end of this game. And I want Maeda, Kuhn and Kyogo to say about Dortmund tonight. Give them problems, give them headaches. As I say, the noise is, as England said last night, once you play at Celtic Park, you can play anywhere. Football players have a habit of telling you they can block out the noise. They're not going to be intimidated by it. If anything, I think it can spur you on to greater things. You can achieve, play above.
Nicholas Kuhn made that point in a great 8-minute interview. If you all get a chance to check it out on TNT Sports' YouTube page, it was sort of like I was going to say it's a sit-down interview, but they were both standing up next to the Signal Iduna Park. It was a really good one. There's a good one with Brendan Rodgers as well, but Nicholas Kuhn was talking about how the manager has made him believe in himself even more so. That man management from Brendan Rodgers is coming out to play once again. He came, I can't remember the exact quote that was used, but something like there was a stick in the river or something, and he repeated it. And then Brendan Rodgers, which I believe there was only about a couple of minutes between the two interviews between Nicholas Kuhn and Brendan Rodgers, but Brendan Rodgers said the same thing, and then the reporter said, "Oh, Nicholas Kuhn said that," and you could see Rodgers' face light up, and he's obviously remembered what he's saying. And Nicholas Kuhn clearly is one of these players that listens to the manager and listens to what he has to say. Like we've seen in that documentary, they all hang on his every word. And it's good to see that the message is going through from the manager directly to the player, and that's translating out on the pitch. It's a big night for Nicholas Kuhn. Apparently, about 20 of his family and friends are going to be at this game tonight. What an opportunity it is to impress them in his homeland, in front of his family, in one of the most intimidating atmospheres in world football.
The manager said it right. These games are belief games. Celtic are travelling with the belief that they can win. Nicholas Kuhn knows in order for Celtic to function, he has to play. Arnold Engels knows in order for Celtic to function, these guys have to bring their A game. You know, I said before that speech that Brendan Rodgers gave about the Scottish Cup final, saying 98% ain't going to be enough. The same applies tonight. 98% might not be enough tonight. It's got to be 100% from every player on that park. Effort, application, attitude, you name it. And be clinical when you get the opportunity, because they've been punished so many times at this level for not being able to take chances when they come along, or when they've been dominant in these kind of matches. There's just something different about this Celtic team at the minute. The mood music, the mindset. Yeah, Jason was saying there, he believes. Yeah, I mean, he's not alone. I think the manager and the players believe. I mean, Arne Engels was as relaxed as they come last night talking about this. And this is a place where he's played before, so I'm just hoping that he can also guide a few through it. I know he's only 21, but you can tell them what to expect and talk players through it. And that knowledge, that expertise, it's invaluable on a night like this, because you're going to need all hands to the pump and everybody playing their part, Ryan. This is one night where the true Celtic collective is going to have to come to the fore and shine, because it only takes one or two to be off it, Ryan. And you know the result could go, you know, the other way. I mean, as I say, we all know what Borussia Dortmund are capable of. They're one of the best teams in European football. This is one of the most iconic arenas in European football. But Celtic are on centre stage. To me, this is the best game in European football tonight. Champions League football. It's the signal of doing a part. There's Borussia Dortmund, Celtic, two iconic clubs, and going head to head. And I think Celtic have more than a chance of producing something special, Ryan. It could well shape up to be one of those wonderful occasions.
Yeah, I'm just going to cut this short because the mic, the camera issue, not the camera issues, but the mic issues, they are really loud when you're speaking. Before I let you go, Tony, and let you sample some of that atmosphere just a little bit more, what is your shoot prediction? How do you expect this game to go tonight? And you've muted yourself. You need to unmute yourself.
I knew that was coming, so right, okay, let's do it. I'll be positive, Ryan. I'll say 2-1 Celtic.
Okay, yeah, I'll go. I think I'm going to go the same, 2-1 Celtic. I think there's goals for both teams, but I think that, you know, there's that confidence, and I just feel like there's something special in the air. I totally agree with you. Tony, you go and enjoy the game, enjoy that atmosphere, enjoy the Signal Iduna Park and everything that entails with that stadium, that wondrous stadium. If you want to support us just that little bit more, you can join our YouTube members channel. Just £2.99 a month. You'll receive early video access, priority comments, and exclusive member chat function. There will be instant analysis on the site from Tony as near enough to the final whistle as possible. There'll be player ratings coming out later on, as well as Q&As from the manager and from his press conference later on tonight. We'll be back as early as we can after the game to discuss all things that's happened. Fingers crossed Celtic get the victory, and we'll have a really happy podcast to discuss when we get round to it. Thank you very much, Tony, for joining me. Enjoy the game. Everybody else, enjoy the game, and we will see you after.